What's up, it's Joe with OCDetailing, and I'm going to do another Model Y video, this time comparing a Model X and a Model Y, because I happen to have them both right here. So Model Y, newest Tesla out, going to be a game changer. I think they're going to sell more of these things than they did Model 3s. Looking it over, it's really an awesome car. I've been really impressed so far. Next to it, I have a Model X P100D. This is a really awesome car too. This is the Titan Tesla, the big one with the gull wing doors. It does 0 to 60 really quick. So if I were to line these two cars up, I actually think they would be pretty even in a drag race between a performance Model X and a performance Model Y. I think there'd be a few, maybe 0.2 of a second difference, but it would be marginal. I'm going to talk about the other things, the other differences between them. I'll start over here with just the look. I mean, if you look at the front of them, this looks very much like a Model 3. That looks very similar to a Model S. You know, when this came out, it looked a lot like that. When that came out, it looks a lot like this. So if you were to compare the two, you know, the front ends, you can tell they're both Teslas and they both share some design cues, but they don't look similar as far as, like, you know, where they could be comparable to the exact same car, because you have like fenders that wrap around the lights here. You don't have that over here. You've got the styling cues of Model S again versus the styling cues of Model 3. The headlights are exactly the same as the ones in a Model 3, but what they do share is some of these things that Tesla did with the Model X, which is like this plastic cladding that goes around the car right here. A lot of SUVs do that. And that's because SUVs tend to be used a little more ruggedly. Or you can tell that somebody at Tesla, you know, has the same philosophy when it comes to designing mid-size or big SUVs. They both went with the plastic cladding around the wheels. A lot of SUVs do that because you get a lot of debris thrown off SUVs, and they usually are used for like Tahoe trips or road trips. So they generally think that they're a little more utilitarian. And that causes rocks, so this plastic cladding will actually save the paint a lot of ways, because you'll get a lot of stuff thrown from the tires up onto the car. The Model Y, coming with a chrome delete, is missing the little side marker here, the little Tesla cutout, which is, I think I'm kind of sad about that. I always like the little Tesla cutout. I could be biased though, because there's a lot of people that delete the chrome on these cars that never cut that little T out, and we always did, so I took a lot of pride in that, because that is some serious knife skills to get that right. I'm just saying, like, it's not an easy task to get that right, where you can look at it from an inch away and it was cut out by hand with a blade and it looks good. So I was always really proud of that, and now we can't show that off anymore here. So maybe that's why I don't like it. Let's talk about the mirrors. I feel like this is a goofy looking mirror on this car, where it's like squished and tall compared to any of the other Teslas. It doesn't look the same. Like, it's flattened a little bit, and it's taller. So I don't know if this is just because it's like squished or whatever, but it looks a little different. Maybe I'll grow to like it, but I always thought the model, or all the other Teslas, did a really good job with the mirrors. They never looked funny. Like, you know, sometimes you see mirrors on a car and they just look out of place, and I never felt that way about Teslas, but I just noticed I feel that way about this car right now. As far as the trim goes, well, this car has a chrome delete too. This is actually brushed black aluminum. We did that here. It didn't come this way, and this car's got a stealth wrap on it, so it looks a little different than it would have from the factory. But if this was factory, this would be chrome, where the Model Y comes with this already blacked out, which is really cool, right? So everybody always likes the way these look with all the black on them, and they have it already. One big difference between these two cars is this. Is the Falcon wing door. This is a very big difference between the two, because the Falcon wing door went up, it registered me here and didn't open all the way, but let me pull this so we can open this all the way. Now, I only say this because legitimately had a customer say this to me. They had a reserve on this car, they went to go pick it up. When they got there to pick it up, they said, and I quote, "Because I have 3 kids, I think the Model X is a better choice for me." And 2 of his kids were young, one's a little bit older, and they found that getting the kids in and out of this car in this configuration was a lot easier than getting them in and out of this. Not to say that this won't be better as a 7-seater, but Elon originally, when he came up with the Model X, his thought was that these doors went up, it would be really easy to use this third row seat. So originally, when Elon came up with this, with these doors, part of it was is he thought, my understanding was that SUVs were really hard to get in and out of the third row seat. So with doors like this, it made it very accessible to get back here, which is true, still very true. So I'm curious to see how they solve this problem with the big bench seat in a Model Y. But we won't know that for a little while because they're not out yet. Even getting out of that actually isn't that bad. That might have looked awkward, but it was pretty seamless. For the Model Y though, if you had more than say 3 kids and you needed to put them in here, I think your best bet would be to throw them in the back where there are no seats. There's all these little cubby holes, just make them ride back there. Seems safe enough, it's Tesla. I'm just kidding. But room-wise, so this car is a 6-seat config Model X, so you have 2 seats there, 2 seats there, so you can fit 4 people in the back, 2 people up front, so that's 6. This car, you could fit 5 people in, and I would dare to say that you could fit 5 adults more comfortably in here than you could in there, because once you put 2 people behind here, you're gonna have to start moving the seat up. So let me put the seat at a place where I think it would be comfortable for, okay, I have this seat now scooted all the way forward, and this seat's at a normal driving position where somebody would still have a lot of room, they would be comfortable. I'm very comfortable, it's okay. And then let me hop back here. Yeah, you would be pretty crammed back here as an adult. You can fit children back here pretty easily, but as an adult, you would be pretty crammed back here. Like you can see I'm sitting with this weird posture, my other leg's all the way up here. So I would say 5 adults could fit more comfortably in a Model Y than they could in this 6-seat config Model X. Unless you threw someone in the trunk of here and made them ride back there. They would just have to deal with it. People are going to watch these videos and be like, what's up with this guy just wanting to throw dead bodies in the car? You're going to put that in? I don't know why I say that all the time. I'm nervous on camera, maybe. By the way, this is a 2016 Model X, so they no longer have this gloss black seat option here. They actually covered it with leather because just like I think the center console is a horrible idea to be in gloss black, something that gets touched a lot because it gets scratched really easy. These back seats, the first time I saw them, I thought were a horrible idea as well. That being said, eventually Tesla realized it was a horrible idea too, because I can only imagine how long these things survived getting kicked and stuff. We used to wrap them in PPF all the time, and people would bring them in constantly to have the PPF redone, because the PPF would save the seat, but like kids kicking it and stuff, it just get destroyed. So we have the same thing going on with the console of the Y and the 3, where it's that gloss black that needs to be replaced all the time, because it gets scratched up and stuff. So trunk space wise, there's a lot of room right here. There's actually supposed to be a board that goes from here to here. I don't know where it's at for this car. I guess it didn't come in with it. But that would make, spacing wise, alright, I'm going to do a weird limbo thing here for you, because I know Alex got some B-roll of me laying in the trunk of a 3 with the seats down. B-roll of me laying in the back of a Y with the seats down. I mentioned I was at the hospital all day yesterday, having a baby, and then I haven't slept. So right here you can see there's much less space in this. If you had a 5-seat, the bench config on this car, I actually think it would fit, because you would have a lot more room, and you could lay the seat down. You would have a lot more space back there if you wanted, and it would be bigger than the Model Y is. That being said, in this configuration, no way. That car's actually got, I believe that car's got more usable storage space, and I'll show you why. Why? Literally why?
Oh, so funny.
So funny. Knee slap. Ha ha! Just with this room right here, you have as much room as you do right there, and that's with the back seats of this one folded down on the 6-seat config. Car, it's wider than the bench seat of the X. It's wider than the bench seat on this Model Y, and I believe for that setup, you actually end up with more interior space. But in any other setup, the Model Y takes the cake. It's got more room inside of it. It does not have the cool lift-up doors, though, that are straight out of space. I mean, if you're going to get... Like, a Model X is just cool for that reason alone. The doors are awesome, right? Like, it's always neat. But you do get a power liftgate in here. this is something that's really neat because one touch, leave it alone. As far as front space goes, you have way more space in the front of the Model X than you do in the Model Y. It looks bigger. Like, when you stand from right here, like, that looks like it would be bigger, but I'm sure this is more room. Yeah, because, like, this is less usable space. This is, you know, a lot longer. The model, well, let's just see. So, at its widest point, 38 inches, well, roughly 38 and a half. 52? No. 52 and a half, so it's a lot wider. And also, too, again, like, I noticed right away when I opened that it had this plastic guard here, and this one did not. And literally, I've seen, in a Model X, I've popped the hood before, and I've seen a bunch of stuff in here that I would consider, like, outside debris. So it's pretty cool they put a seal on this one. It seems like a logical thing because I've seen the same thing on a Model S before, but the Model S actually has, like, right past the nose cone, it has a, or not nose cone, where the nose cone used to be, right past the front bumper, there's a seal right there, but all up around here just gets contaminated like crazy, and I think on this one that would stop that because it's blocking the front. Pretty nifty. Now that I'm closing the front on this Model X, I see a huge glaring difference that I forgot to talk about, the windshield. The Model X has the giant panoramic windshield. This one was tinted with 3M crystalline 50%, and I can tell you right now, this is the biggest piece of glass on any automobile out there that I've ever seen. I know that because when you tint it, you use like a 6 foot piece of film, a 6 foot piece of film that's huge. Even the Model 3 back window is not as big as this. On the Model Y, they have a normal size windshield. It's big, but it doesn't go all the way up to the top of the car, where on a Model X, it stops about right here. So the windshield would be like right there, but it's like there to there. Doesn't change any visibility differences. This car feels very open, just like this one does. It's a Tesla thing. They get to put all the glass on the cars, so you get a very open feel in them. And again, if they're ever robo-taxis, it'll be pretty cool because you'll be able to see everything. In finishing, I mean, both of these are amazing cars. This one's substantially cheaper than that one. But, you know, if you want the flashy one that goes a little bit faster, get a Model X. Also, if you get it in the right seat configs, depending on what you're going for, you can end up with more room or less room. The Model Y on it, or Model Y on the other hand, it's really new, it's awesome, it's fast, it's very reasonably priced for what you're getting. It's crazy that this car actually will do 0 to 60. I'm not gonna say as fast as those two cars, but in the time it takes someone to activate launch control and stomp on the brake and rev the engine, if you just pulled up next to it at a light, there's a high probability that this car would just would beat it. And it's like a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th the price of either of those cars. So it's insane performance you get out of a car for they cost this much money. Model X, again, costs a lot more, but you get crazy performance out of it too. You get supercar performance out of it, and you can haul around 6 people. They're both great. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe with OCDetailing. Please subscribe for more videos.